A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor. Well, the Finance Bill 2017-18 with the 40 amendments has been passed by the Lok Sabha, and with this the House has completed the budgetary exercise for 2017-18. That is the big focus this morning. Also in the top international news, there has been a terror attack in the heart of London. Now 4 people and the attacker have been killed. All the details to follow in the next half an hour and much more. Let us start with the headlines. Lok Sabha passes Finance Bill 2017 by voice vote. Cash transactions capped at 2 lakh. Aadhaar mandatory for filing IT returns has to be linked to PAN before 1st of July. Cabinet approves proposal to amend RTE Act for minimum qualification of teachers. National Highways project in Meghalaya and Mizoram also approved. Election Commission freezes AIADMK symbol ahead of 12th of April by-poll to RK Nagar. Shashikala and Paneerselvam factions express a shock. Last date of nomination today. 5 people, including a police officer, killed in terror attack outside British Parliament. US President offers all assistance. India says no room for terrorism in democracies and civilized societies. And BCCI doubles the annual pay of players. Pujara, Jadeja and Murli Vijay promoted to Grade A. Our top story this morning, the Lok Sabha on Wednesday passed the Finance Bill 2017. The bill with the 40 amendments was moved by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and passed by a voice vote in the lower house. In the bill, the government has capped cash transactions at 2 lakh rupees instead of 3 lakh. Besides, the Aadhaar card has been made mandatory for filing of income tax returns and has to be linked with a permanent account number or PAN before 1st of July deadline. Now, amendments to the Companies Act, the Employees Provident Fund Act, Smuggling and Foreign Exchange Act, TRAI Act and the Information Technology Act was also passed. Jaitley said that move to make Aadhaar card mandatory was to curb tax evasion and frauds, while the capping of cash transaction was to curb generation of black money. The opposition, however, opposed the bill, saying that the amendments brought by the government should have been introduced as a separate bill. BJP members staged a walkout, dissatisfied with the Finance Minister's response. The Finance Minister also said that the government will soon introduce the GST legislations in Parliament for approval, expressing hope that the new indirect tax regime will be implemented from 1st of July this year. He said a consensus between the centre and the states have already been reached on the provisions of the GST.
एक व्यक्ति 5-5 पैन कार्ड बना ले और उसको टैक्स इवेजन के लिए इस्तेमाल करे, इसलिए आधार उसके साथ हमने जरूरी माना है। और इस देश में 98% एडल्ट्स के पास आधार है। आज 108 करोड़ से ज्यादा आधार इशू हो चुके हैं और जिस व्यक्ति के पास आधार नहीं है वो बेकार नहीं होगा। इसी में प्रावधान किया है कि या आधार नंबर दे दे या ये दे दे कि मैंने उसके लिए अप्लाई किया है। और कोई जिद ठान ले कि मैं आधार तो लूंगा नहीं और 5-5 पैन कार्ड बनाऊंगा और फिर टैक्स की चोरी करूंगा, उस रास्ते की अनुमति हम नहीं देने वाले हैं।
ये डिमोनेटाइजेशन से किसी को भी फायदा नहीं हुआ। ये आप एक प्रेस्टेज इशू बना लिए हैं और प्रेस्टेज इशू के लिए हर चीज आप डिफेंड करते जा रहे हैं।
मैंने सिर्फ ये जानना चाहते हैं कि हिंदुस्तान में हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार है कि हम सबको आधार से लिंक कर दें।
What is the tax treatment of agriculture income under the provisions of Income Tax Act? Is agriculture income completely exempt or not?
And staying with the Parliament, the Employees Compensation Amendment Bill 2016 was passed by Rajya Sabha on Wednesday. This bill, which seeks to protect the employees' interest in the case of compensation, has already been passed by the lower house.
Very serious about the worker safety, health and working conditions of the workers, in which immediately my department with the DGMS and also with the local government, we are in touch with every minute.
Was also significantly increased from 80,000 to 1.2 lakhs for a death and from 90,000 to 1.4 lakh for permanent disablement. So these are all very, very positive moves.
That it will be displayed in the notice board, what benefit they are getting in English, Hindi or regional language. Who bothers about that? You could not ensure that in a workplace, employees registered must be maintained. You can't ensure that.
मैं चाहूंगा कि माननीय मंत्री जी अपने श्रम सुधारों में इन असंगठित क्षेत्र के मजदूरों की व्यवस्था को दूर करने के बारे में सोचें.
How all this were being worked out, but government should consider this. This 10,000 rupees really it doesn't make any sense.
Editorial reforms were discussed in Rajya Sabha on Wednesday, where the BJP once again gave a push for simultaneous parliamentary and assembly polls, while several other ideas were also discussed, even though most of the focus stayed on the allegations of EVM tampering during the recent assembly polls in 5 states.
Participating in a short-duration debate on electoral reforms, Rajya Sabha members called for bold reforms like state funding of polls, election spending by political parties, demanding a probe into BSP leader Mayawati's allegations of EVM tampering in the recently concluded assembly polls. Members also sought the use of voter-verified paper audit trail machines. Expressing concern over alleged misuse of the media by political parties during elections, JDU leader Sharad Yadav pitched for media reforms and said that democracy was in danger as media is being controlled by capitalists.
Do not facilitate people to choose a right government. If democracy used as a tool to manipulate formation of a government, which has not been the true desire of the peoples, democracy fails to function in true spirit.
VVPAs लगाने के लिए आपको 2 साल लगते हैं, 2 से 3 साल लगते हैं. अगर आपने 2014 में किया होता तो अभी 2 महीने में या यूपी के इलेक्शन में भी ये लग गया होता.
24 घंटे पहले चुनाव के किस तरह से दूसरी पार्टियों के उम्मीदवारों तक को खरीद लिया गया, ये मैं जानता हूं.
सबकी तरफ से एक बात उठी है. मैं तो मानता हूं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो कहा है उसको यदि पूरा किया जाए तो हो सकता है कि यकीन और विश्वास लोकतंत्र में और मजबूत होगा.
Our colleagues of this house who suddenly find that we are waiting for a commercial aircraft to take off, or that is getting late, but they fly off in their private jets. They come and land and then take the helicopter and go off for the election meetings and cover 7 meetings, but we can do it only 1 or 2 at the most on road.
Over a period of 5 years, within a period of 5 years, it involves, the governance may come to standstill. That is point number 1, sir. Point number 2 is cripple the development.
BSP leader Satish Chandra Mishra accused the BJP of tampering with EVMs and demanded that UP elections must be cancelled.
ये पार्टी पावर में हो चाहे कोई पावर में हो, इसका यूज मिसयूज उसी हिसाब से होता है जो पावर में. और इसलिए इसमें अगर इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स इलेक्शन लड़ करके कोई आता है तो इसमें एक 10th शेड्यूल को भी हमको देखना चाहिए और उसमें देख करके उस पे अमेंडमेंट्स लाने चाहिए.
आज तक हर टीवी डिबेट में या कहीं भी ईवीएम पर कभी डाउट भी नहीं किया, क्योंकि और हमने, क्योंकि मैं मानता हूं कि देश के लोकतंत्र को, इतने लोगों के जनादेश को इतने हल्के में हमें नहीं लेना चाहिए.
Members also cited examples of developed countries which have challenged the use of EVMs in elections and opted for paper ballots instead. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Congress MP Digvijay Singh's substantive motion in the upper house on the conduct of governors of Goa and Manipur has been admitted, while Singh has alleged that the conduct of the governors had gone against the established practices and constitutional propriety.
Deputy Chairman P.J. Kurian informed the House that Congress leader Digvijay Singh's substantive motion on the conduct of governors of Manipur and Goa has been admitted. Kurian, however, clarified that certain procedural formalities have to be completed to initiate the discussion.
You are given notice that it has been admitted, but there is some more procedural formality to be fulfilled. After fulfilling that, we will come back to you.
Digvijay Singh has been pressing for the prompt consideration of his motion under Rule 168. He claimed that both governors did not invite the single largest party to form the government.
I was told that the Honorable Chairman is going to consult with the Leader of the House. This is a matter of utmost urgency and importance. Because there has been a gross violation of the constitutional propriety.
See.
There's been a gross violation of the guidelines of the Sarkaria Commission.
I'll tell you the position.
And the precedent has been made that this floor test is being done in Government House.
In the recent assembly, BJP bagged 13 seats in Goa, while the Congress was the largest party with 17 seats. In Manipur, the Congress was the largest party, winning 28 seats in the 60-member House, while the BJP came a close second with 21 seats. The BJP, however, managed to gather the majority number in both the states and won the floor test. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And on to some other news now. Well, the Union Cabinet met last evening, and among the important decisions taken was the approval to a proposal to amend the RTE Act to make it mandatory for teachers to acquire minimum qualification. Well, the amendment will also ensure that the period of training will be extended for 4 years up to 31st of March 2019. It will also enable in-service untrained elementary teachers to complete training to have a minimum standard of qualifications. Well, the amendments in the Customs and Excise Act relating to the abolition of cesses and surcharges on various goods and services to facilitate the implementation of GST was also cleared. The amendments allow furnishing of information relating to import or export of goods to enable analysis and detection of cases under or overvaluation. Now, approval has also been given to the National Highways projects in Meghalaya and Mizoram. Well, the projects for development of 403 kilometers of national highways will cost 6,721 crore rupees. Also, a policy for granting extension to the licenses of oil and gas fields like that of Cain India on payment of an additional 10% profit share has been given. Well, the policy covers blocks like Rajasthan oil fields of Cain India. Cain's exploration license expires in 2019, and the company had been seeking a 10-year extension. Well, we'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. News from Tamil Nadu now, and the Election Commission has issued an interim order freezing the AIADMK party symbol. Well, the order came after two camps of the party claimed the two leaves symbol for the forthcoming assembly by polls to the RK Nagar seat slated for 12th of April. Well, the camps are led by Sasikala's nephew and AIADMK Deputy General Secretary TTV Dinakaran and party rebel O Selvam. Well, the poll body arrived at the interim order saying that there is a little time available with it to issue a final order, as the last date for filing of nominations for the polls is today. Now, both the groups will be allotted different symbols as they choose from the list of free symbols notified by the EC. Well, the by-poll is taking place as the seat fell vacant after J. Jalita's death last year. Well, the OPS camp has announced E. Madhusudan's name as the candidate for the by-poll in RK Nagar, while TTV Dinakaran is the candidate from the Sasikala camp. Now, both the camps expressed shock at the EC's order, but vowed to fight to retrieve it.
I don't think it's a setback, it is only an experience. And we will overcome this, and we will come out with flying colors, and we will get back our two leaves back.
News from Uttar Pradesh. While Chief Minister Adityanath Yogi on Wednesday allotted portfolios to his Council of Ministers, but Adityanath has kept the key Home Ministry with him. He has also the Mining Department, which was in news for allegedly being mired in corruption during the previous Samajwadi Party regime. Well, apart from that, he has kept over 36 departments with himself, which might be distributed later. Well, the crucial Finance Ministry has been allocated to Rajesh Agarwal, a 6-time MLA and former Deputy Speaker of the UP Assembly. And Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya has been given the Public Works Department, or the PWD, Food Processing, Entertainment Tax and Public Enterprises Department. And the other Deputy Chief Minister, Dinesh Sharma, was given Higher and Secondary Education, Science and Technology, Electronics and IT departments. And former Congress leader Rita Bahuguna Joshi is in charge of Women and Child Development. Former BSP leaders Swami Prasad Maurya was given the Labour Ministry, and Adara Singh Chauhan was given Forest and Environment. More news from Uttar Pradesh. And the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister has directed the state government officials to stop chewing pan masala and gutka in offices. Well, the use of tobacco and pan products have been banned in hospitals, schools and colleges as well. The Chief Minister has also discouraged the use of plastic. Well, this comes in the wake of a sanitation pledge administered to the state officials by the UP Chief Minister in line with the Swachh Bharat mission of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And also after Allahabad and Varanasi, well, the Chief Minister has now also directed police officials to prepare an action plan for the closure of slaughterhouses across the state. Now, following the directions, the Lucknow Municipal Corporation soon swung into action, and it sealed the slaughter shops in the state capital. Adityanath also asked the officials to ensure a blanket ban on smuggling of cows and said zero tolerance in this regard. Now, there has been no details, however, of the shut slaughterhouses.
देखिए, ये हमारे संकल्प पत्र का हिस्सा है। उसके अंदर जो अवैध है उस पे तुरंत कार्रवाई शुरू हो गई है और कार्रवाई होगी और कठोर कार्रवाई होगी। और जिन लोगों को लाइसेंस दिया हुआ है वो लाइसेंस का अपने कंडीशंस का पालन करें, उनको कोई चिंता की जरूरत नहीं है। मगर वो कहीं उसका पालन नहीं करते तो वो लाइसेंस रद्द होंगे, ये भी उन लोगों को पता होना चाहिए।
And the newly elected Chief Ministers of Punjab and Uttarakhand met Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday, their first meeting after being appointed as the Chief Ministers. Although it was a courtesy call, now these meetings were aimed at seeking centre's cooperation for the respective states, while Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh made a strong pitch for a loan waiver for farmers in his state in meeting with the Prime Minister. He had earlier met Finance Minister Arun Jaitley as well to seek financial support for crop procurement. He later also called on President Pranab Mukherjee at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Also, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat met Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who asked him to lay emphasis on fighting corruption in the state. Earlier in the day, Rawat met Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu as well.
But I did mention the question of debt waiver, and I left a letter with him. He's going to look into it. So that was all. It was very short, courtesy call.
मुख्यमंत्री बनने के बाद मैं उनसे मार्गदर्शन लेने के लिए यहाँ पर आया था और उन्होंने कहा कि भ्रष्टाचार पर कोई माफी नहीं होनी चाहिए, चाहे कोई भी हो। और उत्तराखंड को उन्होंने पूर्ण सहयोग का हमें अपना आशीर्वाद दिया है।
And veteran Congress leader SM Krishna has joined the BJP. He joined the party in the presence of BJP President Amit Shah in the national capital. Well, after joining the party, Krishna said that he is humbled and said that he is glad to join a party led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is taking the country to great heights. Well, the former Union Minister had, remember, quit the Congress after nearly 50 years in January after expressing unhappiness for being sidelined. While the BJP sees his induction as a boost in the state of Karnataka, the Congress has accused Krishna of betrayal.
I see a great India emerging under the leadership of the present Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and ably supported by the party President Shri Amit Shah. between the two of you, you have taken the country to greater heights. India has reached a stage where other nations are jealous of the way India has emerged and re-emerged.
कृष्णा जी इतने लंबे समय तक कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता रहे और कांग्रेस के अंदर काम करते रहे, मगर अभी जो देश के अंदर परिवर्तन दिखाई पड़ता है विगत 3-4 सालों से, विशेषकर 2014 के बाद नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में देश जिस तरह से आगे बढ़ रहा है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की स्वीकृति भी देश में जिस तरह से आगे बढ़ रही है,
तो इस उम्र में वो कांग्रेस पार्टी छोड़ के बीजेपी को जाना ये ठीक निर्णय नहीं है। और दूसरी चीज, कांग्रेस पार्टी में उनको सब कुछ दिया।
And the Supreme Court will today hear the Babri Masjid, the demolition case in which senior BJP leaders L.K. Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharti are accused. Well, a bench headed by Justice P.C. Ghosh said that the appropriate bench comprising him and Justice R.F. Nariman will be hearing the matter today. Well, the Supreme Court is hearing the appeals filed by the CBI and Haji Mehboob Ahmed against the dropping of conspiracy charges against Advani and other leaders, which also included Rajasthan Governor Kalyan Singh, who was the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister at the time of the demolition. On 6th of March, the Apex Court had decided to examine the appeal against the dropping of conspiracy charge against the accused. Well, the top court had also come up with an option of ordering a joint trial of cases arising out of the 2 FIRs lodged in the wake of the demolition of the disputed structure in 1992. Altogether, 13 persons, including Advani, Joshi and Uma Bharti, were discharged of the conspiracy charge in the case, the trial of which is being held at a special court in Raebareli. Well, another short break in here. We'll be back with international and sports news on the other side. Stay tuned.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Well, thanks for staying with us. And terror struck London on Wednesday afternoon. 5 people, including a police officer and the assailant himself, were killed in an attack outside British Parliament. Well, the attacker mowed down pedestrians in a vehicle on Westminster Bridge before fatally stabbing the officer outside Parliament. He was later shot and killed. Now, London police are calling the attack a terrorist incident, and Prime Minister of the country, Theresa May, called the attack as sick and depraved and said it was no accident that the attacker chose Parliament. Terror attack in the heart of London. 5 killed and 40 others injured in an attack outside UK Parliament on Wednesday. Those killed included a police officer and the assailant, who was shot dead. The incident occurred at around 2:40 p.m. local time when the attacker drove his car over Westminster Bridge into the crowd. He ran over 3 pedestrians. Then he got out of his car and fatally stabbed a police officer, Keith Palmer, who was unarmed, on Parliament premises. British police are looking at the attack as an act of Islamist-related terrorism.
Today in Westminster, we saw tragic events unfold, and our thoughts are with those who lost loved ones, those who are injured and all those affected by this attack. One of those who died today was a police officer, PC Keith Palmer, a member of our Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command.
The police shot dead the attacker, and they say they know the attacker's identity but are not releasing it.
Just after the attack, Parliament was placed on lockdown for several hours and lawmakers were forced to remain in the House of Commons as officers rushed to the scene outside. The Prime Minister called a meeting of COBRA, the UK's emergency cabinet committee.
The location of this attack was no accident. The terrorists chose to strike at the heart of our capital city, where people of all nationalities, religions and cultures come together to celebrate the values of liberty, democracy and freedom of speech. That is why it is a target for those who reject those values. But let me make it clear today, as I have had cause to do before, any attempt to defeat those values through violence and terror is doomed to failure.
Leaders of countries affected by recent terror attacks voiced solidarity with the UK after the deadly attack. US President Donald Trump spoke with May on the phone and offered all support. Australia increased security around its parliament.
Nous exprimons au nom de la France toute notre solidarité, tout notre soutien au peuple britannique et à la Première ministre Theresa May, qui elle-même était à la Chambre des communes quand ça s'est produit et a été amenée à quitter précipitamment les lieux.
We work very, very closely indeed with our allies, including the United Kingdom and the United States and many other partners around the world. But we must be clear-eyed about the risk. It is real, and that is why the terror threat level is set at probable.
India also strongly condemned the attack, Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj assuring there were no Indian casualties reported. MEA spokesperson saying there is no room for terrorism in democracies and civilized societies. It was the most lethal terrorist attack in Britain since 2005, when 52 people and 4 attackers died in July bombings on London public transport system. The use of a vehicle as a weapon of terror also echoed the methods used in the past year by attackers in Nice and Berlin. In Paris, the lights of Eiffel Tower went out from midnight in a tribute to the victims. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And on to sports now. Well, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ravindra Jadeja and Murli Vijay were promoted to Grade A category in the new annual players' contracts announced by the BCCI on Wednesday. But Pujara and Vijay were in Grade B last year, while Jadeja was demoted to Grade C in 2015-16 after his poor run in the international cricket. While the trio joined Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, R. Ashwin and Ajinkya Rahane in the top bracket, while KL Rahul and Ridhiman Saha moved up into Grade B, while limited over specialist Jasprit Bumrah and Yuvraj Singh were awarded contracts after not featuring in the previous list. Well, the Committee of Administrators also hiked the annual retainer amounts for all the categories, while Grade A players will now be paid 2 crore rupees per annum. Grade B players will get 1 crore rupees per annum, and the Grade C players are entitled to get 50 lakh rupees per annum, which is double the amounts that were paid in the earlier years. Well, that's it from me and the entire breakfast team at the moment. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day ahead.